Yo, what's going on, everybody? You know what time it is. We are back with another Church Nerds episode. Once again, I got the crew on with me. I'm your host, Jay Baldwin. We got the technician, Norman Heath. We got Bible Man by day, Batman by night, Brandon Travis. We got Pastor B, whose face says all about the league conference. We'll get into that in just a second. We got the maestro, Darrell Walls, and our very special guest, church nerd himself, Pastor Joe Henry is here with everybody. What is going on, family? We want to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Church Nerd pages. Be a part of the Church Nerd congregation. We want you to be a certified Church Nerd. What'd you say, Pastor B?
When are we gonna get sound effects? So when we have people like the great Joe Henry on, we can play their theme music.
Well, you know, Pastor B, I'm currently looking into that.
Okay.
Some sound effects. So
Joe Henry has to have his own theme music when he comes.
Yeah,
something on the order of Undertaker's, or maybe
something with some aura. Someone with some aura.
You know what? I'm thinking what we may do. I'm gonna clip Bishop Leslie singing "I Shall Wear a Crown" and play it.
There you go.
I get the glorious soundbite.
That was a phenomenal moment, though. By the way, though.
Oh, Bishop Leslie had himself a good time. He had himself a good time.
Whenever he get the mic, he take people in. He take the people in
all the way in, Doc.
That's what he does.
That's what happened in Chicago.
For every young preacher coming up, young pastor, Bishop Leslie, he's a masterful on the microphone. Okay, he literally teaches without knowing that he's teaching. Like, if y'all don't know, just go back to the Chicago clip on Sunday morning. Just go back to Chicago Sunday morning during the National. Okay. Well, we got the Church Nerd congregation in here with us. We got one and only Auntie Delphine here. What's up, Auntie? We got First Lady Campbell with us. Praise him, First Lady Campbell. My brother-in-law, Josh Sylvester was.
Oh, here we go again.
Going on.
Microphone again.
Oh, Jay's might give him the remix.
Jay, Elon got your microphone again. Tell Alexa to fix your mic.
You say Alexa.
Well, listen, we got two of the other brothers that are not on here. Andre said he's going to hop on as soon as he can. And obviously, you can see from Pastor B's headline, we don't know where Gabe is. Again.
Well, we do know where Gabe is. We know that.
He is furthering his education.
That's right. So, as long as he has a reasonable excuse. Now, if he's just not doing that, then,
I'm furthering my education, too.
No. Okay. All right. So, I can't say nothing. I was gonna say, you know what, Pastor Gabe, we love you, man. We love you, man. I'm the guest, so I'm gonna stick up for my little brother, man. Wait, but where are you though? I'm saying, I'm sticking up for you, man.
Thank you.
Doing your thing, doing some great stuff in Jesus' name.
Oh, here we go. Well, here we go.
For Dre, we get the Undertaker music.
Or is it a turtleneck?
It's a turtleneck.
Oh my Lord, you're professional today.
He is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness, everyone, we want to welcome.
Is this the same version?
This is the same version.
Let's go.
I doubt it, but we'll
Darrell, you got jokes.
Well, I was about to say, everyone, welcome.
Exactly.
Dre look saved. I was gonna say,
I look saved every day.
What's the show? The Green. He looked like he coming straight out episode of Greenleaf.
That's clever. That's pretty clever.
Why he sips his coffee.
and you looking like Constantine.
Whatever. I don't even care what I look like today.
You know what? I never would have thought of that, but that fits. That does fit.
It does fit. All you need is the trench coat. He on the way.
Right. They've been a hell and back today.
All week.
Lord have mercy. Well, since he's here, we want everyone to welcome Mr. Late to the party. Dre Buford is here with us.
Hi,
What's going on, Dre?
I missed y'all so much. It's
Yeah,
good to
you
see
missed
my
last week,
faces.
but we understand. You was excused last week, so we understand.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I saw your parents over the weekend. Always good to see them.
Hey, your pops got a good shout in this weekend, boy.
Your dad is the most hilarious bishop I think the PCAFI has. I don't think there is another more hilarious.
Furthermore, why y'all should pray for his son.
I'm screaming. So when I saw him, I said, Bishop, Andre let you out of the house this weekend? And he said, yeah. And that's for real. Andre don't let me go.
I gotta keep tabs on him.
I said, Andre, keeping you locked up? He said, yeah. I don't know what's wrong with your friend.
As soon as you let him loose, he go to wandering off like a toddler.
All right. Reel it back in.
All right. Forgive me, Pastor Joe. Forgive me.
I got you.
I don't want you to report back.
I know.
Right.
We love you, Bishop. Good to see you.
We love you, Bishop. We love you, Bishop. Oh, we got the other Bishop online. We got my uncle, Bishop Herman Thomas, is in the chat, fellas.
Hey,
what's going on?
Hey,
Bishop.
have y'all ever called Bishop Thomas and John Wiley's sports podcast they have on Saturdays?
No.
Oh, I caught a few.
They do. It's actually really good. They should check them out. Seriously, him and John Wiley talking about sports and stuff like that. It's good stuff.
What's the name of
I
it?
had no idea.
I don't
Good
know,
to know,
if it has
but
a
we
name.
don't give free shout outs except for Uncle John, just so everybody else don't ask. Because we're not doing any more free publicity except for Uncle John. That's it.
Okay, well that's the last free plug. I'm sorry.
That's the
I
last.
try to give you some love, Bishop Thomas.
But go watch the podcast with Bishop Thomas and Uncle John. Go see it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be through that cup in the first 5 minutes, man.
Where is all of this coming
I've
from?
already sent my second cup request.
Second cup request.
So you got a barista?
What happened to you at the
When a
league
man
conference?
findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing.
Hiya!
Hey,
Amen. Hey.
Favor from the Lord. And favor can
Yes,
be defined
sir.
as barista.
That's
Joe.
right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
He said he trading his sorrows, huh?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I just noticed something. Let's give it up for Brandon. He finally has a background.
I knew it was coming. I wasn't even gonna mess with him because he preached so hard this morning. He preached like he was running a revival.
Come on, I wasn't here last week.
Hey, this will go up soon, so.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
there we
Lord.
go.
Is that
There we
white
go.
man?
Ooh.
Is that the Nightwing?
A bunch of stuff came while I was at Leeds,
That's
so
right, man.
it'll be different.
Hey, Mel wants to know how we not tired yet. Well, the reason we not tired, Mel, because only 2 of us went. Well, 3.
Yeah.
You know what, Norm.
Jesus.
That's
Really,
true,
Norm?
We tried, Norm. We tried.
But I am tired. Not
Who else
That's
in the
not
chat?
happening.
Oh, we got my sister. We got the Jackrabbit in the chat with us, of course.
No. Hey, Pastor B, is that the one that got to kick off the network?
say that
Is that her?
again.
Am I kicking her off the
No,
domain?
not Jackie. Yes.
Okay.
Jackie, this is her.
Okay, so Sister Jackie, get ready for a harsh reality.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Carrington, this is my plug.
Not the domain. That's crazy.
Okay, we got to do one more plug. Professional Headshots, Sunday, March 16th, 9 to 10, $20. Carrington is giving us $5 off of every headshot that is
that's good.
ordered.
Okay.
In the next hour. No, I'm just playing. I'm so serious.
But he does good work, though.
No, but
He
seriously,
does.
No, Carrington does good work.
Yeah. So if
Send
you're
us our fee. Send us our fee.
that's right. So if you're in the Indianapolis area and you want to meet a very humble brother, Carrington Murray is your man.
Is Carrington gonna be at the National?
Oh yeah, he'll be there.
He's at that national
Because
every
Lord,
year.
Lord knows I
Carrington,
need a professional headshot.
Carrington, we gonna all the nerds do. Carrington, we gonna talk that. We gonna talk.
Yeah, we gonna talk.
at the National.
That would be kind of dope though to get that
That
real
would be
quick.
great.
Let's do that.
Professional headshots for the nerds.
Cast,
No, not just for the nerds, brother.
And honorary nerd.
My bad, Joe. I'm sorry. My bad. Well, listen, since brother Mel brought it up, and we already talked about it a little bit. We gotta do a recap, man, of this last weekend. We had our PCAFI LEAD Conference in Indianapolis, Indiana, hosted by Kingdom Apostolic Ministries, where the pastor is the presider, Bishop Lambert Gates Sr. If you weren't there or if you didn't watch, you missed a treat, especially Friday night, because our presiding bishop, he laid it all out. It was good.
Friday.
He gave some hard truths.
Red Friday, man. Rough time.
But before we get to Friday, though, Lead this week kicked off with PTI 28 at Lead.
Yes, Pastor B, you want to talk about that?
And Bishop Paul Morton just don't really know what to say about how well he, like, I won't shut up, Norm.
I'm shocked too.
Yeah. So he talked about being a classic and using the analogy of a car, that while it might be old, if you take care of it and you last, it becomes one of few, and therefore its value increases. And he talked about how just because a thing ages doesn't mean it has to lose its value. And use that to kind of talk a little bit about what it means to be prepared for succession and transition. And that analogy of being a classic was just phenomenal. It was really, really, really good. And then after Bishop Morton talked, Dr. Dwight Radcliffe from I believe it's Fuller, it's the university that he was representing. He talked a lot about just how we put a sermon together, how we ask the right questions, kind of this whole homiletics piece, and what belongs in the sermon, what belongs outside of the sermon. And he had an intentional focus on what it means to adapt to your audience, to know who your audience is. And just because a thing sounds good in the sermon in one setting, it may not be relevant for an audience that's in front of you the first time. Just really good tips and tricks for preachers. And then my personal favorite, they were all great, but my personal favorite was the Honorable Bishop Derek Reeves.
Amazing.
That man just makes you scratch your head at just the wealth of just how he talked about psychology of the brain and just how theology is used and how it's important to understand how your words impact individual, and words were designed to have power, and you can use certain tones in your words and inflections to elicit certain emotions that bring out the power of that word. And it was really, 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 really good. He did a phenomenal job, and I thought PTI 28 at Lead really kicked us off to the great week that we had at Lead. Lots of fellowship, lots of fun, and I even took the greatest picture of Bishop Lambert with my Android device. And the world
Android device.
he told you there's room at the cross.
The world is better because that picture exists.
You know how you go so deep and then you go so shallow with that.
I
just so deep with all the theological education. You go so shallow with the Android.
I just thought to know that picture is out there in the world, and one day it will be a classic.
Norm, do you have it?
Classic.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I have it. It's online. He's posted it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a classic.
You should show that at the end of the show.
Yeah.
The picture of Brian and Bishop Gates on his Android phone.
On my Android, yeah.
Okay, all right. I mean, I could show other pictures that people have taken of Bishop Gates with an Android phone. I mean,
show all of the Android, all the Android pictures, no iPhone pictures allowed.
I mean,
you are openly going against your presider right now. Come on,
just on this issue, and
just on this issue,
we're public about our agreement to disagree on this issue.
Oh, okay.
We've had several conversations about it.
I'm sure y'all did have several conversations because he proclaims he's apostolic. He said it in his message on Friday. He's saved.
I think Mel said it best right there.
He can't help himself. Y'all don't know no better. I think y'all been staring at that iPhone for so long that your eyes are going bad, and so you can't take your picture with quality because of how long you've been staring.
Hey Jay,
what's up?
That camera angle is amazing.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Well, you weren't here last. I know he wanted to plug that. He wanted to shout that out.
His back wall is amazing. I love it.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Actually, I just want since you said that, I just want
to. Norm back wall has always been great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's just
the rails need a little work because he got that Chicago Bear back there. So we're working on it.
Ooh, it's getting rough.
Well, Dre, what you say? I just want to shout out my wife. This was her idea. This light up game controller. So my wife.
Shout out to the wife.
Shout out to the wife.
Get your point.
Get your points.
all day, every day. Here we go. Here's Jordan.
Might be some fire. iPhone users are.
Wow.
Jesus.
LeBron James. That's crazy.
I ain't gonna preaching on that though.
Clap it up.
See, I think we're about to kick the other sister out now.
They flop. Jordan, come on, talk to us, Jordan. They flop. They just out.
We already said. See, Norm already said we got to kick Jackie out.
iPhone users have tantrums. Come on, Jordan.
Jordan is starting to sound like Stephen A. Smith.
but is he wrong? That's all I'm wondering. But is he wrong?
The crazy part about it is, don't let LeBron walk up to you at the end of the
I was about to say that was diabolical. Him walking up to him in front of everybody.
He said he could have called me. I'm gonna talk to you right to your face.
And did you see how little he wasn't so tough then? See how little he looked looking up to
compared to LeBron, he was looking up.
That was a funk move. What y'all talking about? What are you?
Hold on. See, this Jordan, you got to realize who you're talking to. As soon as we mention anybody else, we go to LeBron. Off the left wall, we just went.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about how good God is and the importance of lead.
She better be glad Gabe ain't in here.
Right, because Gabe was immediately
Gabe.
He'd be crying.
Gabe.
Jordan speaks nothing but facts and what people are scared to say.
So speaking of somebody who's speaking nothing but facts and nothing scared to say, Bishop Gates preached a wonderful sermon about that. Speaking of somebody who's speaking of it, so let's go ahead and bring that back around again.
There were some great facts that were shared on Friday night. It's just an episode of Hard Truths, and I think a lot of times hard truths don't get shared.
What was the hardest truth?
What was the hardest truth
he talked about?
Lee Brian Carmelo.
That's exactly what he said. He said about name. He said it out loud.
Leave that man alone.
That was true.
That was a hard. Hey, leave that.
He said who?
To leave Brian Carter alone.
That's what he said.
To leave him alone.
So I think that was a hard truth. I think one of the hardest truths was when he talked about the woman that messaged him about all the snakes around him.
Oh yeah.
That was a hard one.
It was a hard one because Bishop Gates loves. I ain't seen Bishop Gates not love on anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like real talk. Yeah. I ain't seen him, but you can love on people and still get bit.
Yeah.
Man, that's happened many a times.
But God is able to preserve us.
He is, but like how do you step in the role though like that? How do you step in the role? It's like I'm stepping in a pit full of vipers, knowing I'm going to be bit, but I know I have to
God. You gotta make sure it's God, because if it ain't God, that thing, them vipers will consume you. They will destroy you. They will bite you, and their poison will kill you. But if it's God, he will preserve us. He will not allow their venom to destroy us.
And you know,
that was another one. He got some letters on his desk. He did say that.
Can I say something else though?
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
One of the powers in knowing that God has called you to it is that in time you may have the ability to change the vipers and the snakes into friends. Like what they do, they suck out the poison out of snakes. I don't know what the snakes become, but in this instance, the snakes can become something else.
Yeah,
they can become saved.
Sure.
So that's another power in it. Like, you know, it's a bunch of people out here that need to be helped.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Joe. But you know, another hard truth that came from out of that message is that some people gonna be people. They're gonna be who they are, because as much as we don't want to embrace it, Judas was created to do what Judas did.
Yep.
Ain't that? Don't that suck? You was created to be
the backstab. You were created to betray. You were created to betray.
You know what? Mean he couldn't be redeemed.
I'm gonna start. People, oh boy, that's gonna be a good.
But he was doing what his role was in the picture.
Leave me alone. You was created to betray me. Get away from me. I'm gonna start telling people that.
So okay. Wait. I'm sorry. Pastor B said something, and this is interesting. When you say he did, that was his role. He did what his role designed, right? But he could be redeemed. But if there are other characters in the Bible that seem to say will apply to that, right? They will say, okay, for example, the Pharaoh that knew not Joseph, right? Back in there, he did his role, right, to imprison the Israelites and Hebrews, and when God kept hardening his heart, right? What redemption could he have?
Well, I didn't say everybody can be redeemed. Bible says, and Pastor Travis, or excuse me, the pastor who turns down.
Brandon,
God will harden your heart and turn you over to a reprobate mind. True. Where you don't seek redemption. Everybody has the potential to have redemption if they seek redemption.
That doesn't seem fair.
But if God hardens your heart, why isn't it fair? The only
God hardened my heart and I get punished. That don't seem fair.
You created the set of events to cause God to harden your heart.
To lose the ear of God is crazy.
If you do it, if God didn't wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm picking Norm.
It's just like there's like.
But if I'm playing my role, did He not ordain me to do what I'm doing?
If you play your role,
is Judas in hell
through to the end?
What's happening?
Then God can redeem you.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it to the pastor. I thought the pastors want to jump in, so I'm gonna throw my hands.
Go ahead, Pastor Joe.
What? Why you say me like
he was created to go to hell? That don't make
sense.
Wait. Pastor B called out Pastor Travis.
So that don't make sense.
Hell was not created for humanity.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But why is Judas there? He didn't mean to do that.
Who said anybody was?
He didn't mean to do that.
He was created.
Yes, he did.
He didn't mean to do that. Yes, he did. So keep in mind, as Pastor B is saying, everything there's a behind the scenes to everything. Everything has a spiritual leading and a spiritual push. It wasn't that, I'm gonna say this. It wasn't necessarily Judas himself. What it was is he accepted the spiritual leading,
the spirit,
and he was a son of perdition. It wasn't like Judas, son of perdition, Iscariot. No, that's what he ended up becoming because he said yes to what was leading him. All right, same thing with Pharaoh. What they say? Same thing with Pharaoh.
This starting to sound like a preacher talk podcast.
Ain't that the name of Chris podcast?
No.
Chris Townsend.
That was called something different.
That was called.
My bad. Wrong podcast.
So
anyway, continue, Joe.
And keep in mind, behind everything, it is a spiritual. It is a spiritual leading. It was a spiritual leading. Everybody had to, whether negative or positive, whether whether for God or for the devil, everybody had to accept the assignment.
Yeah, and because God's will has to be performed.
Yep.
Man,
about his will.
I'm so confused about Judas though. So if Judas said no, if Judas took a different path,
it would have been somebody else.
It would have been somebody else.
Okay.
Somebody else would have fulfilled it. Because I think
it had to be done.
It had to be done.
So if he took a different path, right, and he said no to this, and somebody else did it, right?
It was somebody else's name.
No, I don't know. But let's say Peter or whatever. If Judas didn't do it and Peter got the plug, right? Judas is no longer playing the role that he was supposed to play. So what happens to him then?
Right.
Same thing that happens to all of us who don't fulfill God's will.
But did it have to be one of the 12 disciples to do it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It happened.
It is. So
wild,
keep it.
But that further shows that there's snakes around you. There's always snakes around you.
That was my point. I'm going full circle back to Bishop's message. You're gonna have people among you who their role is to buff you. That's Paul said, I got a thorn in my side. That's why David wrote, he prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemy. You're going to have people around you who their role is to do you wrong.
And sometimes you can be your own snake.
Ooh, that's good, Dre. That's another hard truth. People don't want to hear that.
Must have preached this morning or something. So he can really say a real say.
Okay, I see you digging walls.
Paul played a role in persecuting the saints, but God absolutely.
See, it's funny. Bishop Campbell preached on Paul this morning about the conversion of Paul and Saul, and it's something that came to my mind was that's somebody, you got somebody who was literally killing the saints.
Killing them.
He killing them. And then went away for 3 years, came back, and now he's preaching and teaching. We would not accept him today.
No,
that's what Bishop
They didn't accept him then.
No, they didn't. It talks about that. As soon as he started preaching, they looked at him like, well, hold on a second. You was just killing us not too long ago. What you doing preaching about Jesus?
That's what Bishop was talking about.
Yep.
And Bishop Morton said that on Wednesday. He said there's nothing new under the Bishop Paul said that there's nothing new under the sun. If you want the perfect analogy for everything that's going on in life today, just go back and read the Bible. There's something in there that's going to relate to today. It even talks about losing favor. King Saul lost favor with God. King Saul lost favor with God. He was anointed for his position and he lost favor with him. So why? So David could come in and play his role.
So are we saying, go ahead,
David wasn't anointed until Saul got rejected.
Until Saul got rejected, exactly.
So are we now saying then, and not to make it overly simplistic, but the negative things that happen in the word were supposed to happen, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the people that are fulfilling their role to cause negative things to happen, right? If they could, once they did their job and played their role, and there is no path for them to be redeemed at all. They did what they were supposed to do, and now they're punished. And that's
it's not about the people. Everybody there is a path for all men to redemption.
But if my role is to portray Jesus, then I'm destined to do something terrible.
That befriends the question: why is everybody hating on Trump? He has to fulfill prophecy.
But you took a giant leap. You
so did.
But keep in mind, so
where's Bishop Ford? Somebody tag Bishop.
All right, someone tag Bishop Ford.
Oh my God, why y'all bring up Bishop? All right, so Norm, to your question, Norm, Jesus told Peter, you are going to
deny me.
Betray me.
You're going to deny me.
He did do that.
And he said, he didn't tell Peter, you're going to get redeemed, though.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you're going to deny me 3 times.
He has a secret.
Peter, as Pastor B said, Brian said, Peter, instead of killing himself, he took the road to redemption.
Yep.
Okay, so what we're saying it is, even if it's my destiny, my role in the game, to do something negative, if I fulfill my role, there's still a path to be redeemed. That what we're saying?
As long as Jesus Christ is on the throne.
I was just about to say Jesus came and bled and died, so you can be redeemed.
So you said Judas didn't.
That was the purpose of his death.
Yeah. That was the purpose.
Atone for sins, forward and backwards.
So when Judas went to give the money back and they didn't receive it, and he went to and hung himself, he didn't have to do that. He could have went a different way and found redemption.
I don't think he would have been an apostle, but I believe he could have been saved.
Wow.
That's just my belief. That's my belief.
Now, wait.
Was Judas the first suicide?
Put Deke up there.
No.
Put Deke up there. Deacon Walls.
Okay, I need Brandon to say something. He ain't said something all night.
He's tired.
Yeah,
I was just about to go there with Brandon.
He preached too hard.
If you want to know Brandon's thoughts, go to soulanchorchurch.org. There's today's sermon.
That's good, Dick.
He preached a phenomenal message right after he had a revival altar call before his message.
Yeah, but that was then. This is now.
Are you down from Cloud 9, Pastor B? Pastor Brandon? Are you down for Cloud 9, Pastor Brandon?
I'm fine. I was a little tired on my drive home, but praise the Lord.
I was about to say,
in the body or out the body? Is that what happened?
No.
Yeah, Brandon been quiet. Brandon, I want your perspective, man. What you got to say?
I'm listening to all you wonderful scholars.
You don't want to sit at the feet of the Honorable Bishop Derek Reed. We don't sit at the feet.
Stop it. Here's my take on it, and I agree with what they're saying. Well, let me back up. One thing you said is all the negative things in the Bible had to happen. I will say no. But things that deal with prophecy, yes.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. Because Adam didn't have to eat the fruit; he chose to.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Judas, God says that he judges a thing from the end of a thing to the beginning. He proclaims it at the end of the thing, starting at the end. So what God does before he ever does anything is he sees the end all the way to the beginning. And he saw that, I wouldn't say that Judas' destiny was, but he chose. And he saw that, as Pastor Joe said, he would not repent from what he was choosing to do. If he would have repented from what he was choosing to do or didn't want to do it in the stream that God looks at somebody's life, then that lot would have fell to another disciple. It's so much that as prophecy, it has to happen, but it didn't have to be Judas. But God looked in his life, saw the end, saw he wouldn't repent, saw he made a choice, and that was what it was. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Nice. I like that.
That was educational. Thank you.
Yeah, I like how you laid it out.
That was educational.
Now you don't gotta say nothing the rest of the episode.
But I will say too, on another conversation that y'all because y'all went straight to Bishop Gates on Friday, but Wednesday was a good talk too, and we saw the heart of our presider, which is probably the heart of most pastors, when they got to the conversation of transition. That's the hard truth. And even Bishop Gates himself said, I struggle with that because I'm the person from going to calling the shots to not calling the shots. The person that makes the decisions to not making the decision. And that's a harsh truth to have to handle. But I think, as he's working and praying, just like all the pastors are, I think Joe can talk to that. He's kind of in that role right now where he's, transition is happening and the Lord is leading and working and guiding y'all as that goes through.
What transition is Joe into? What you transition to, Joe?
That's so funny.
We gonna come back to that.
Oh, okay.
All
right, moving on.
Joe's not yet ready.
He's not ready. He posted online. What you mean?
But we gotta build up to that. We gonna get some publicity going. We gotta.
Okay. All
right. Fair enough.
Okay,
so just go on Zion's, Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Come
on
Facebook.
Stay tuned.
So here's a hard truth that I've recently trying to understand and learn. So maybe our brothers can help me out. Okay. I don't understand why people would rather be political than be honest. when it comes to disagreements, when it comes to
agree,
areas of conflict, that we would rather say the thing that we think the person wants to hear versus just being honest about
because the truth hurts.
Well, yeah, the truth hurts.
The reality is the truth can and has caused people to go from being friends to being enemies.
Talk.
Because people don't want to receive the truth. And you know, not everybody has the concept that I have, where I don't want people around me that's not going to tell me the truth. You make me look bad. You make me look dumb going out here looking bad, and you know or knew that I was going to go out here and look bad, and you said nothing. I don't consider that a friend. I don't consider that's somebody who I want around me. You know, I use the scenario. I'm walking around with a booger hanging out my nose. And everybody looking at me look silly, and ain't nobody saying nothing.
Well, Pastor B, that adds to another question about that, and I wholeheartedly agree what you said. Do you really love me if you don't tell me the truth? Galatians, one of my favorite scriptures is, "Am I therefore your enemy for I tell you the truth?" And that's another hard truth. People just don't like being told the truth, because we like to sugarcoat and feather everything and make it soft, so we don't give them a hard blow for what's necessary.
I put Mel's comment up because I hear what you're saying, Mel. I do
agree.
I do sometimes hear what you're saying. It's better to keep the peace, but what is the benefit of having peace when it's shrouded by lies?
Or when keeping the peace,
not really peace.
Yeah, or when keeping the peace causes somebody else to go down a path that would ultimately be destruction for them.
Okay, so maybe I go a little hard when I'm about to say this. You go in your home. Everybody married. You go in your home.
Wait.
I already know.
Make sure. Joe, why'd you have to think about that?
Make sure.
That's one of the things we pride ourselves. All of us are married black men.
Yeah,
Joe,
right. Found our good things. You don't even got to say it, Joe. We know where you're going.
Right, but you go in that home. After a long day, and you tell your missus a hard truth.
Which one, Joe? Which one? I want to know which one.
No. Your hard truth. I'm telling you, mine. You tell your hard truth to your wife. You go in there, tell your hard truth to your wife.
Oh, Lord.
And let's see how much activity you
well, let's ask Lady Campbell. Let's ask Lady Campbell. She's in the chat. Let's
Lady Campbell.
Action might be somebody's hard truth.
But with that being said, though, there is a time and a place. And sometimes I ain't talking about lying. I'm with you, Norm. Nobody should be walking around here lying. If it ain't time for you to say nothing, don't say nothing at all.
Right.
That's fair.
Wait for the time to say it, address it, instead of appeasing people's to go along to get along.
You know, that goes back.
That never works.
The bishop's in the chat. Oh, Jesus.
That's right, Bishop.
Come on, Bishop. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
But that goes back to knowing timing. Timing is everything.
But Bishop was telling hard truth yesterday.
Hey, Bishop was telling some hard truth.
I think too what Jade said is really good. Why? Because you gotta ask yourself, why am I telling this truth?
How do you say it?
Because the Bible says you're supposed to share the truth in love. But am I sharing the truth to make somebody better, or am I sharing the truth to tear somebody down?
Out of anger, out of spite, or
and manipulate it.
Because I know what Joe said, a long day, but don't let your wife catch you on a long bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy.
So I appreciate the answer, because the answers are they're really helping me, because one thing I'm dealing with personally is learning how to, y'all know me, I'll say stuff and they'd be like, oh, Norm joking, or Norm being trying. It's like, no, I'm trying to find the best way to be straight with you.
Right now, Norman.
Yes, Brian. Yes, Brian. You called my name.
Brian, give him a hard truth, Brian. Give him a hard truth.
Give him a hard truth.
Come on, Constantine.
Norman,
how can I help you?
Norman be saying some stuff sometimes, and I be having to figure out, is he being serious,
right,
or is he trolling?
Well, I can give you a easy clue.
Okay, tell us.
Here's the clue. Mm-hmm. If I'm really trolling, if I'm trolling for sure, then I will admit it like 2 or 3 seconds after I say it.
Oh, okay.
I will fully admit that I'm not being serious.
And Norm, is that because you see the distortion in the features of the person that you're talking to? They like not the characteristics, like gestures.
No, but it's another truth. Knowing yourself. Like I know how I sound when I talk, and I know that when I'm speaking, it's always like an undercurrent of a laugh in there somewhere.
Yeah, because we just start laughing because we just be like, ha ha ha.
Because I know myself. If I need to be straight with somebody, that I want to try to eliminate any verbiage or any visage of a laugh and be straight up. This is what it is.
No, can I pose something else, Norm? Though,
yes,
to
sir.
Everybody. Yeah. So with the question that Norm is talking about, where does relationship fit in?
Oh, that's the important thing right there.
Well, I would say
having a relationship with the individual.
I would say relationship fits in, and it helps with timing, because you always a good point, right? Sometimes it ain't the best time to tell the truth. Like if you see I'm tired or wore out, ain't the time to kick me when I'm down. There ain't time for that. So I think it helps, but it also helps with, if I know you, like me and Joe, we brothers. We can be straight with each other no matter when, no matter where, whatever. I can just tell him straight up, Joe, your suit was too tight that day. It just what it was. You were preaching and the button flew off. It's how it is.
What we supposed to say? What we supposed to say about saying something like that?
Y'all gotta understand.
He gave a real-time example. You see what he did there?
Right.
Real example.
Y'all gotta understand that's their age group too. Like they've been doing that for years.
They are the papas of this group.
We're the apostolic fathers. That's right.
The church nurse group.
So we're the apostolic fathers. So this is me and Joe, the apostolic fathers. We can say what we want to say. So, but simultaneously though, like when I first got to know like Brandon and Darrell, when I first met y'all in Palm Springs, we got to know each other. I had to work my way up to how I would say what I'm saying. So I think that's where relationship kind of fits into that.
Okay. I think
it Creighton Norman a long time ago. It's a certain type of people you.
When this show become about me? Hold on now. Wait a minute.
This is the intervention.
Hold on, now. I'm not Gabe. Don't make it about me.
He's not here to protect himself. So I got him earlier. Don't stay on him now.
We going back. Joe, just buckle up because we're going back to Gabe a couple times.
What's Sister Jade say? Sister Jade says sometimes people reveal a truth that God was supposed to be quick to listen and slow to speak.
That's good.
So I see Jade and Andre been in consecration. That's why they.
That's why he got that turtleneck on. That's why he looks saved today.
So here's my challenge to that statement. I think sometimes we use statements like that. I'm not saying Jade is doing this, but sometimes we use statements like that to not be accountable to one another. We use statements like, only God can judge me, or God will reveal to me the truth, or nobody else needs to tell me the truth. I get my truth from God, as if God doesn't use humanity.
He does.
To hold each of us accountable to one another. We have a response. I think I said it this morning in Sunday school. We have a responsibility to one another. And I think oftentimes we don't take that we take that responsibility for granted, and we don't take that responsibility seriously, that it is our responsibility to see our brother in a fault and strengthen him. It's our responsibility to see our brother or sister making shipwreck and go to them. It's our responsibility to have an alt with our brother and leave our sacrifice in our pocket, go address the issue with our brother, and then we go shout together. I think we have to be careful not to remove the responsibility that we have as mankind to one another. And I think that's one of the things our presider was attempting to correct us on Friday night, that we have to start taking our responsibility seriously, because if we did, we would spend less time tearing each other down, because we will realize it's our responsibility to build each other up.
That's good. I mean,
I was gonna say,
no, go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
Just quick to that point, what Brian says is very true. Like if you look at the Apostle Paul, he ended up leaving the disciples for about 14 years after he got converted, and it was Barnabas that had to go and get him. It wasn't God, and we know that he hears from God because he heard from God on his conversion, heard on God to go where he needed to go down the straight street. But when he left, when he was in the middle of something, he wasn't listening to God. He was somewhere off in his feelings, and he needed one of his brothers to go and say, "Hey, man, you're not supposed to be here. You got to move from here. You have to get going." So it takes us sometimes to help one another, because God does use us to make sure that things happen.
Brandon, you said a key word there about Paul. Said he got in his feelings. Our feelings is gonna get us in trouble and will blind us to what we actually really need. And it takes, what my sister said, spiritual maturity and relationship from someone to come tell you the harsh truth. Brother, you in your feelings right now. You're not thinking consciously. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it would take someone that is spiritually mature within themselves to realize, it's just like repentance. I need help. I have a problem. So it takes accountability, like Pastor B said earlier, amongst yourselves to accept that.
But Jay, you know how hard it is to tell a man he in his feelings?
It is very hard.
I don't think it's hard for you.
It's not hard for you. It's hard for them to receive.
Okay, well, even that. If you in church and one of your brothers come, man, you in your feelings.
If they're your real brother,
it goes back to relationship and
you receive it. Like Joe walking up to me, he might be in your feelings right now. I'm gonna receive that a whole lot better.
Well, here I'll give an example. Me and Pastor Henry talked, but I won't say what it was about. But he had noticed something that I was doing, not seeing or anything like that
at all. Let me second that.
Not seeing.
Not sin at all.
But
all those trolls out there was not sin at all.
I know. Wait, what was they talking about? That's what the presider was talking about on Friday.
He gave me direction, and I could have just been like, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm not worried about what he say. He ain't right. But I took to heart what he said, because we have that relationship, and just let you know they got taken care of this weekend, so we're all good. But because of that advice from him, because of that, he told me a harsh truth. Probably didn't want to hear it, because he didn't
want to hear it.
Yeah,
probably about it.
But because we have relationship.
Yep,
I can accept that from him.
Right. Well,
hold
on, brother. Hold on. I hate to interrupt.
Here comes Gabe.
No, leave him in the lobby.
I have to. This is our brother.
Leave him in the
our
lobby.
Friend.
It's a harsh truth that he don't come.
Harsh truth that he is late, but he has a reason.
I know.
Here he is.
Looking at him with the '90s haircut.
And here he come in. Here he come in all humble.
That's the game.
I was gonna say, remember, his words got to catch up to the screen. It's a little lag.
What's up, Gabe?
What's up, Gabe?
None. I see Brandon has a new Batman hat on.
Hey, you're the first one to say something about my hat. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Beautiful hat. Hey, if y'all didn't think Gabe was gonna come on ready,
we know.
Gabe know already. That's why he takes shots when he's not here.
we know how Gino Jordan operates. We know.
Why he keep calling you Gino Jordan? Brandon Travis.
This is a good one from Sister Party.
And y'all barely
knew. You're funny, Brandon.
It probably would have been harder, right? Well, I'll let Brandon answer for
Yeah, it would have probably been harder. But if it was the Lord, I'll say this, even if it was a stranger, sometimes the words from a stranger, if you know it was the Lord, they cut a little deeper and they carry a little more weight. But I probably wouldn't have been able to separate that.
No.
Don't worry about my wife. My wife got different truths. They're not hard truths.
But you know, wives tend to think that we don't listen to them. You know, wives tend to think that we don't listen to them.
Them ain't harsh truths. Those are hell truths. It was something about a white truth.
Wives be going for the jugular. They don't be playing fair.
That's because they know everything about you, man. They
know everything.
Oh, have mercy.
But I was gonna say really quickly, like, so Soul Anchor has 3 principles that we're built on as a ministry, and those 3 principles, we call it the ARC. It's an acronym that stands for accountability, relationship, and the K that we haven't talked about a whole lot in this episode that I think applies to this conversation is knowledge. And you can have zeal without knowledge. You can be gung-ho. Or I'm going to tell everybody the truth, but then you're not knowledgeable about the truth that you're sharing, or you're not even knowledgeable about the person that you're sharing the truth to, or you're not even knowledgeable about yourself so you can take stock of the delivery of that truth and have all of the truth in the world, but make shipwreck because you didn't do it in a knowledgeable fashion or in a way where it could be received.
So do you see that when pastors who have nobody in the audience? Is that why?
Pretty much. Or
church for the empty folk because you're out there preaching knowledge.
You have people who get out there and say, "Well, I'm just going to tell you how it is." Whether you receive it or not. Well, what point is you telling me how it is if I'm not going to receive it? And you know I'm not going to receive it. So you can set yourself up for disappointment and me up for failure.
And going back to what Norm said, even with empty pews, sometimes it's just people that don't want simplicity. They want,
that entertainment,
super knowledge. You know how our generation is, the millennials. Well, Norm, you might not know.
I'm the apostolic father, so ain't nothing I haven't seen yet. Let me change my tag. Let reflect where I'm at right now. Like, you go ahead.
I want to piggyback off what Brandon said about having that relationship, along with Pastor Joe. It all goes back to having real friends around you. A harsh truth is that we talk about snakes. You got to have real, authentic friends around you that truly love you and know what's best. I'll just tell it like it is. These are all my brothers on here, and I've known Brandon a long time. And he told a few weeks ago, actually on season 2, while we was having our post chat, he told me something that I took to heart, but it's true. That I had to look at myself and say, "Oh my goodness, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing," but I received it because I had that relationship with him.
Who told you this, Jay?
Friendships come in the oddest format.
Yeah.
Who told you this, Jay?
Brandon.
Batman, Bible man.
I got a truth for you, Dre.
All right, post chat.
Hey, Brandon about to come like the Apostle Paul. He about to start writing letters to all of them.
Brother K ready. Brother K ready.
But yeah, so sometimes friendships come in ways that you wouldn't expect. Mm-hmm. Like everybody on this call, I've known in some way for
this ain't no
a
call,
long time. In different, what'd you say, Dre?
This ain't no call.
This ain't no what?
You said on this call.
You said call.
On this call.
He's saying it's not a meeting.
This ain't no Zoom. This ain't no Zoom.
Everybody on this Zoom. I mean, everybody on this
Zoom. Brian, don't let them lead you. This ain't Zoom.
Everybody on this podcast.
Get that second cup. Message your barista. Get that second cup.
I'm sorry, barista.
Oh, yeah. You call her like that, you don't call that.
He wants to get a hard truth in a minute.
Screen just go dark.
Just go dark. Screen just go dark. Go ahead, Pastor B. What was you saying?
Before I was rudely interrupted.
My apologies.
Like I've known all of you all in some way, shape, or form for a long time. But I don't know that I like in different ways, like in different circles. I never would have like thought that like this. Like even this podcast, like would have been brought together, and this, like I would have thought that decade ago, right? Mm-hmm. So like it's important for us to. I say that to say it's important for us to be led of God as to who we connect ourselves with, because you never know when God is trying to help you create your circle. Like over the years, I've always kept a pretty tight, small circle, but sometimes God. He places you in certain spaces among certain people for purpose. And when we miss those opportunities, we often miss the opportunity that we need to have the circle to hold us accountable, to have the circle to give us those hard truths that we can't receive from nobody else. And when your circle is so small and you don't allow God to place you amongst the folks he wants you to be among, then you miss those opportunities. And that saying, birds of a feather flock together, becomes real when you put yourself in the wrong circle.
I love you too, Brian.
I love everybody on the call but Dre.
That's all you have to say.
Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian.
Hey, Gabe, you sleep? Okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about. So,
can you please put him? I don't know why y'all didn't listen to me.
Well, hold on. Wait a sec. Wait. First of all,
Gabe, y'all didn't listen to me and leave him in the lobby.
Yeah. Gabe, first of all, Gabe, we want to welcome you. We want to welcome you on the show, brother. And some of the people that went to the lead conference, they were so glad to see your father. It was so good to see Bishop Jordan.
We talked about him already, but
especially him getting his dance in.
He told us to keep our mouth off his father, even though we were saying great things. So we ain't gonna say it again. We gonna get our mouth shut. We ain't gonna talk about Bishop Jordan. How glad we were to see him.
Okay. So anyway, Jay,
Bishop Jordan stole my chair. Y'all know that?
Yeah.
What?
He stole my chair.
Yeah.
He did it with a smile.
Put Gabe in the lobby.
We're talking about hard truths tonight, Gabe. Hard truths.
Okay, so what was the question?
Please put Gabe in the lobby. Please put Gabe in the lobby.
So Jay, you had a question for Gabe. I think that's what he referred to.
I was gonna ask Gabe. Well, apparently Gabe hasn't been looking at our group chat, so he didn't know what we were going to be talking about.
No, I was in class. So.
Yeah, he has class on Sunday.
Gabe,
you got to put the picture back.
Gabe, what is a hard truth that people don't like to hear?
I think a hard truth that people don't like to hear is that's funny, Joshua. Yeah, and somebody left the stage. I don't know why.
Center stage at that.
He went to put a second order with the barista.
Yeah. I think sometimes people use hard truths and they present it in a brash way as an excuse to say
In a what?
In a brash way.
Brass.
Oh,
Brass.
What?
Yeah. In a brash way.
I get it.
As an excuse to kind of just say what they want.
Mm.
You know? I think true relationship isn't just holding each other accountable, but true relationship is knowing your brother well enough to know, okay, what are some do's and don'ts when it comes to our relationship and our communication. I think a true brother and sibling and whoever knows that, okay, even if I have to present a hard truth, I know these are the areas I shouldn't necessarily just harp on and touch on, but present it in a way where I could still accept it. I think that's a hard truth. I think sometimes it's very easy for us to hang our hat on that excuse of, well, I'm trying to hold you accountable. I'm trying to do this and that and the third. When you have to, first of all, you have to build, if you have a relationship with me, you should know how to present things to me and vice versa. So I think that is a hard truth that a lot of us need to understand. And I feel like as soon as we understand that, relationships can grow greater and more healthier just as we move forward. So, yeah. And I apologize if I seem brash, but I honestly didn't know what we was talking about.
So Gabe,
it was our truth. That was it. I love all y'all. That's
the hard truth. The hard truth is that Gabe don't read group text because that
is the hard truth. Don't read group text.
Gabe was in class.
He wasn't in class 2 days ago when I typed it.
No phone in class.
I'm gonna tell you another hard truth. A hard truth. A lot of times it be how many of y'all 7? It be 6 against 1 sometimes. That's a hard truth.
Listen, what I'm not about to let Joe Henry do is show up here and act like Gabe Jordan don't throw his share dart at everybody. Gabe Jordan is not the victim in this segment. Okay?
Hey, America, don't listen to that. I am the victim.
I remember going back like 2 seasons and I wasn't even there one day. Now I get a whole new clip.
Absolutely.
About Gabe going off on me. I'm just saying. Like,
we are going to be selling tickets to our first chat.
Let's keep it real. Darrell is my favorite person on this chat.
Wow. We got favorites now.
Hey,
hold on.
Hey, you know what?
Dr. Dwayne.
Here go another hard truth.
I said other than Joe.
I was so about to say another hard truth. I'm taking everything I just said back. Exactly, y'all. First of all, let's thank Dwayne for making sure Dr. G always watches us.
Right.
She
taught a great class at Lead.
Yeah, she taught an amazing class at Lead. And so husbands who make their wives watch the Church Nerds stay together longer.
They do.
So please share the well.
That's very true.
That's science, man.
It's science.
I must say.
I also think it's interesting, even in and this is just a side note, but in 1 Corinthians, when Paul was writing his letters to the church.
We're trying to get all deep now, bro.
Come on, Gabe.
If you don't like
Gabe,
Gabe just got out of class. He got something to say.
Spotlight Gabe. Thank you. Go ahead.
Come on, brother.
Go ahead, Gabe.
Appreciate it.
Come on, Gabe.
Hey, y'all. Let Gabe get his camera out.
Let Gabe get it in. Go ahead, Gabe.
Hey, man. First of all, Norm, you're hilarious, I guess.
Y'all must say, Gabe can hold his own against all of them.
I went on the word. Come on, brother.
I'm not talking until you take me off the group.
The Jumbotron.
Take me off the big screen, then I'll talk.
All right,
the big screen.
Come on, 1 Corinthians.
The level of petty.
Yeah, the level of petty. It almost making
Master. What's up, Aunt?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just going to make a point that is interesting in 1 Corinthians before Paul really lays in to the church. He starts off by talking to them about their identity. in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's confirming to them who they are, right? He's showing affirmation, he's showing love, he's doing all that before he even gets to the correction. And I feel like that's something that we have to take note of as well. A lot of times, especially in some of our churches and assemblies and stuff like that, like we're so bent on correcting people, we're so bent on chastising people, we're so bent on making sure that they understand where they did wrong, we don't affirm them in the first place before we even get to that point. So if we don't have that part in our relationship, then necessarily, I mean, can you really correct somebody?
Very true.
You know what I mean?
This is why people need to. This is why people need to join in foot washing during communion. Don't nobody do foot washing no more.
I was gonna say that's true. I was gonna say that's true, Gabe, but
harsh truth.
I think Paul's got a little different dynamic only because he's coming from that shepherd, pastor, apostle kind of way. Because we've been mainly talking about, you know, brothers and sisters, that one-on-one relationship where we can talk to one another. And then Paul, you know, because he's a shepherd or an apostle, whatever you want to call him, he's got to know his sheep in different places respond differently to different words, to different affirmations, to different things. So he knows who he's talking to and how they were when they were converted and how he has to say it. But when you're talking about, if me and, you know, any one of us are talking to one another, if it's just something that I need to tell you, I'm just going to tell you. If it, you know, so it might not be flowery, but it'll be true. So that's all. That's my point on that.
But I think it goes back to relationship. You know, it goes back to how you've developed the proper relationship through knowledge of the individual and of yourself to be able to hold each other accountable. You know, to your point, Gabe, you know, we talk about love and we talk about accountability as if they're enemies of one another, but they're not. Their love and accountability are not anti one another. They are supposed to work in tandem with one another. I'm supposed to hold you accountable in love. I hold you accountable because I love you, right? If I didn't love you, I'd let you walk out and look like you look. And I think sometimes we frustrate ourselves. You must ain't seen Brandon.
Wait.
The one and only Demetrius Cooper, everybody.
I know. Hey, everybody doesn't go get their feet pedicured before foot washing stuff.
Oh Lord!
Wow. Hey Brandon, it sounds like you might want to start then.
No, we ain't done foot washing since the pandemic. Bishop ain't going back.
No, nobody do foot washing no more.
He never washed my feet anyways. I don't know why he's talking.
He may not watch them, but he saw them.
No,
you know, that's why you gotta wear gloves now, like they do in the shops.
Wow.
Okay, can we? What's the next topic, Jay?
Can I say one more thing?
So we don't lose Gabe.
Pastor B, can I say one more thing? What Pastor B said?
Go ahead.
So when it comes to accountability, one of the reasons why people don't like it or they don't embrace it, a lot of times is because they're happy with who they are. They don't want to become better.
Yeah,
if we're gonna become better, somebody got to hold us accountable.
Or it's that I am who I am. Who are you to tell me?
You
know, pride and arrogance will keep you in a state that God never intended for you to be in.
That's true. Yeah, you know, one thing in life that always tells the truth: your clothes.
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
No, you drive and shrunk my clothes again.
And what truth is that, Norm? What truth do they tell?
What truth do your clothes tell you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on now, you know that, brother.
If you
have to explain this one real quick, Norm.
I mean, only what I can see is
down?
you gain weight, you lost weight, you know, that type of thing.
See, you get that on the way home. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, next topic.
Get that on the way home is crazy.
I'm screaming. Well, I'll say this right when before we move on, that during our month of consecration, and I told my brothers this last month or so, that going into 2025 and becoming a better leader, you know, the most important thing for myself, and then I encourage them as well, is the most I got 3 things that I want the Lord to help me to do with as a leader, and as for my brothers as well, and for people, the saints of God, period. One is to relate to the person, then understand them, so you can have those type of conversations, and after you're finished giving them a hard truth out of love.
Hold on, what do you mean? Clarify, understand them for me.
When I say understand, kind of like knowing your audience. You know the type of person that you're dealing with. When I say, that friendship, you can. It's like you have 2 people in the church. One person receives one. You could say the same thing to 2 people, but they both receive it a different way. That's what I mean. So that's what I mean by understanding. And then after you do that, is to build them. How we're in this together. We all trying to get to heaven. We're so build them up to grow the relationship in God. So the last night of the lead conference was the icing on top. Bishop Brandon Jacobs came and wrecked the place, as he normally does wherever he goes. He's definitely a preacher of this generation, one of the top preachers of this generation, in my opinion, one of my favorites. So it was definitely a good time. So
hey, you ever noticed about Bishop Jacobs that like he puts like the lines in his hair to match the lines on his jacket?
That's crazy.
Ever noticed that? I noticed that one day. Like
this is one of those moments where we have to wonder what is going on.
Oh no, he's not serious. He's not serious.
Norm always makes sure we're down here.
I mean, like we were just trying to be spiritual, and then Norm said the too spiritual.
I'm just saying something I noticed. I noticed that it was like, he had like the 3 lines right on the left side, and then he has his preacher jacket with 3 lines on the slave.
I don't think
that's the anyway. Bishop Jacobs, you preached the mighty word.
You don't buy a jacket with 3 lines on one arm and it had the same 3 lines in his hair, and that's not intentional.
He preached no more perpetrators.
No more
perpetrators.
He preached the mighty. That was good. Perpetrator.
Yeah.
No, so basically no more snakes, like we said earlier.
Well, listening to his message made me think about somebody getting over here. I know. One thing I thought about listening to his message
I'm sorry.
Is the concept of imposter syndrome. One that just kept coming back to me.
Yeah.
While I was listening to his message, how sometimes we sometimes self-inflicted or even sometimes inflicted by others get into a space where we feel like we don't belong. Especially, in where God may have placed us or may want us to be. Even in sometimes our workplaces, we can feel like we're inadequate and don't belong. I thought his message was a good reminder that despite the way things may seem or look, we belong where God has placed us, where God has put us. Yeah,
absolutely.
Powerful word.
You could tell a lot about a person by looking at their microwave at home.
Oh my! Anyway, and
you talk about me.
Anyway,
this man.
League conference was awesome. We had a good time, and we're hoping to see everyone in Toronto. And I believe we're not gonna look. No, we're not going there with Drake. I believe
emphasis on that.
No, Drake. No. I believe my brother Josh asked us if we're going. I believe my brother-in-law asked us if we're going to be having a live session in Toronto. We are working on that, Josh. We're trying to do something. I know a few people have asked us if we're going to have a live show, a live recording or something. But we want to make sure that you're at our growth conference in Toronto, Canada. We get your passports. You don't have your passport. Hurry up and get your passports. Okay.
There'll be about 50 people without their passports on that day. because they ain't listen.
Hey,
they ain't clean their microwave.
Did y'all see an article about Trump is about to enact another travel ban?
Is he?
Really?
Can we not do this?
No, I'm just saying. What if, you know?
What if there was a travel?
Because we know we got beef between the countries right now. What if?
No, Brandon, you got to bring that up right now. Everything gonna be high. Y'all better bring as much as
we go over there, and then they're like, "You can't come back."
No, the dollar is strong right now. Everything not gonna be high. Dollar is strong. U.S. dollar.
They ain't gonna let you exchange that currency.
I was telling
you, you be fine.
Look, y'all can't get nothing. If y'all,
I'm screaming.
Hey, did y'all ever find out the first person to commit suicide in the Bible? I'm wondering.
It was
first
Judas.
person to kill themselves.
Judas.
Yeah, Dre asked that earlier.
You did ask that earlier.
Somebody fell on the sword. Somebody fell on their own sword. It was a kid.
Yeah, that was
I can't remember who it was though, but they fell on their own sword.
Saul.
Did he lose a war or something?
Gabe sounded like he looked it up.
But that wasn't
exactly.
That wasn't.
Gabe don't ask no questions he don't have the answer to.
I just read the Bible. I'm sorry, guys.
You just read Google.
And he just got out of class. He just read out of class because he's
trying to make us look like we don't know our Bible.
Exactly. You just read Google.
Hold on,
Joe, this is why we don't give Gabe.
I don't watch YouTube for my words, guys. I read the actual Bible.
I tried.
I don't read no manuscript but the New American Standard Version.
So
I don't watch the mic side to get my
Bible
references, guys.
Hold on. Go ahead, Norm. Go ahead, Norm.
Saul was prophesied that he was going to die and fall on the sword.
Here we go.
So are you going to classify that as?
So was it Judas?
Okay, so obviously Gabe knows the answer. So Gabe, please educate us. Who was the first guy, man or woman?
Come on, theologian.
Kill themselves in the Bible.
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Whatever.
Does anybody in the chat know? There are Bible scholars in the chat. Can y'all
Dwayne said King Saul.
I'll say the first recorded suicide is probably King Saul.
Unfortunately, Gabe, that's
what about Solomon?
That's not
the first recorded suicide in the Bible was Abimelech in Judges.
That's right.
Oh, that's why I said probably. I don't know.
He said probably.
No one heard you say probably.
Ever since I stopped judging people,
rewind the clip.
I didn't say. Wait. I didn't say you said it. I said no one heard you say it. So rewind the clip on that, my friend.
I know that Darrell is Gabe's favorite. But Gabe,
Darrell ain't said nothing against Gabe.
Gabe's second.
Gabe,
that's why Darrell's my favorite. We don't ever go ahead.
Well, who's your second favorite again?
Not
you. Gabe, you're my favorite. Gabe, you are my favorite.
Who's his second favorite?
My second favorite is
Jay.
No, not you, Brian. Gabe.
But my second favorite?
He said Jay.
Oh, I thought he said Dre.
I love you all the same.
You sound like that parent that won't answer their kids. Who's your favorite?
Well, to the ringmaster, that will be, I guess, assisted suicide. Then.
Yeah, it's still suicide.
Listen, we want to.
That is what happened.
Listen, this has been another episode of the Church Nerds. I want to thank Pastor Joe Henry for hopping on with us, man.
Before we leave.
What's up?
We got to do our outro stuff.
I need y'all to get excited about meeting little Timmy. If you got kids.
Oh yeah, little Timmy.
Little Timmy will be at Growth in Toronto. If you got kids, scan this QR code.
I don't like that.
And fill it out.
You had to pick the name Timmy, huh? You had to pick the name Timmy.
It's gonna be an amazing initiative.
Will you tell him why the name is Timmy?
Yeah, so Timmy is Timothy in his youth. The Let Initiative, Lois Eunice Timothy being the Timothy in his youth. And we're going to be sharing lots of things with our children. So if you have kids under the age of 18,
this is the wrong time to be promoting this.
Fill that out. Thank you.
This is hard truth. Was that the best name?
Check out Timmy.
Yes, it was.
I'm just talking.
Check out Timmy. Check out Timmy.
Brian,
it's that growth.
This is for growth. This is for growth. Listen,
Y'all are terrible.
Listen, we're gonna be in Toronto for our growth conference, July 25th through the 30th. Make sure you're there. Register for the conference, even if you're not going. Be a part. It's all about being in. They do have another hotel. Make sure you hurry up and register, because once that room block is up, there will be no more rooms after that. So you better hurry up.
Brian does not consult us before he make these decisions.
Is somebody dressed in an outfit, Brian?
Yes, Pastor Joe.
Brian, put some glasses on. Don't tell me little Timmy is you.
We gonna work on some merch. So just hold on. We got it.
Josh, and someone else asked. Listen, we working on merch. Okay, we're gonna try to get merch out to everybody. We're still planning that and everything.
You better be the first one.
Deacon Walls.
All this was Joe's fault, by the way. Joe started all of this.
Deacon Walls said one was, I think he said, what, baptized in Jesus' name today. So we have a praise report one, and I think there was a few baptisms that Cam Indy today as well. Listen, we are the church nerds. Norm, what's our outro, man? What we got for a video for the people?
You know what? I'm just gonna play it, because if I say anything else, this Timmy thing gonna make me fall to pieces. So.
It's the Scrooge.
We gotta talk about this in post chat.
Okay. All right. So, in realms of hard truths, I found this clip that made me think about all the various things that preachers have to deal with.
If you preach long, they say you're long-winded. If you preach short, they say you didn't prepare. If you use big words, they say you're showing off. If you use common language, they say you're folksy and country. The truth is, they want you to have a degree, but they don't want you to use it. And if you go to school, they say she thinks she's better than everybody. If you don't go to school, they say you're a jackleg preacher. If you're hands-on, they say you're micromanager. If you trust your leaders and back up, they say she's never there. If you wear suits and robes, the seasoned saints love you, but the young people say you're unapproachable. If you rock some J's and a t-shirt, the young folk love you, but the seasoned saints side-eyeing you. If you preach about social justice, they say we just want to hear about Jesus. If you don't preach about social justice, they say, well, I think our ministry should have a deeper touch outside the wall. It's never enough. You can walk on water, they'll ask, why didn't you run? You can touch the moon, they'll say, why didn't you go to the sun? It's never enough.
Hey,
all I got from that was snakes on
Preach,
the plane.
sharp, preach.
So the hard truth have to deal with.
Fellowship.
Friday.
Let me finish.
Sharp can preach. That man Sharp can preach.
I'll explain in post chat.
He can preach. Listen, this has been
a little information on little Timmy from Mel Campbell.
Yes.
So, just so y'all know.
Pastor B, can you let the people know how can they bless our podcast so we can do bigger and better things?
Andre, he's out. He's done. He's done.
Okay.
We need to end this.
You know what?
Jay, take us out.
Wait! Don't forget. Wait! IEEE is coming as well.
Yes.
It's Camp Detroit.
Amen.
We are in Detroit.
We are in Detroit.
Finally.
Yes.
He said finally.
Are you going to go there?
So, not like the convention hasn't been in Detroit.
Okay.
But so for all of our Greater Bethel and Omaha friends that we met, please come to Detroit so we can return all that great hospitality you gave.
I've heard that.
So what if you don't go to one of them?
Had the best hospitality.
I was talking to them personally. I wasn't talking to just everybody.
I heard Omaha has the best hospitality in the PCAFI.
Omaha was amazing. Greater
Omaha
Bethel
was great.
Top tier. Not gonna lie.
Top tier.
Cam gonna have to come on up with it. Cam gonna have to come on up with it.
Hey, Cam and friends. Cam and friends.
Listen, this has been another episode of the Church Nerds. Jordan said Southfield's fish and chicken.
Jordan, don't tell him
my sister is obsessed with Southfield fish and chicken for some reason.
She has a reason. I mean,
it's good, man.
It is good.
Come on now.
Mr. Jordan, tell him your reason.
Once again, I am Jay Baldwin. We got Norman Heath, Brandon Travis, Pastor B, Darrell Walls, Dre Buford, Gabe Jordan, and our guest, Pastor Joe Henry. We will see you next time on another episode of the Church Nerds.
So I'm gonna do it right this time. Now watch this.
Right.
Good night, Levi. Good night, Levi. Good night.
Son says good night, everybody.
Good night, Levi.